Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I would like to explain about Veterans Day and about the people who protected the USA millions of years ago. For many years, today we as a nation pause to honor the service, the valor, and the commitment of all those who have worn the uniform of the armed forces of the United States.
They stand as part of a proud chain of warrior portraits, reaching back to the earliest days of the Republic, each one taking up the sacred mission to defend their nations, the highest value of liberty and as well as democracy.
The women and men who has fought the sacrifice for our country are heroes, and the rest of us owe them an unpayable debt.
Right, absolutely. We all, the veterans, they earned our thanks and above all, our respect. We really respect the veterans who really sacrificed their life to defend the democracy, the liberty of this country.
On the 11th hour of the 11th day in the 11th month in 1918, the war to end all wars ended. From then on, every November 11th to come was to be dedicated as Armistice Day. President Dwight Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day. Now the nation comes together once again in joint honor of veterans. As a young American, having known many veterans myself, this holiday hits close to home. But as a young Muslim American, it hits even closer to home. It seems odd that one religion could have been bearing or their view of Veterans Day. This Veterans Day, I feel the full weight of the honor and the Prophet Muhammad said, "Loves of one homeland is part of faith, and one who is not thankful to people is not thankful to Allah." This means that honor and loyalty to our nation and gratitude to those who fight for us is not only our duty as an American citizens, but as a Muslim.
Veterans Day is not the same as the Memorial Day, but it's really, you see that many Americans get confused on that one. So Shad, if you can tell us a little bit about the difference between the Memorial Day and as well as the Veterans Day.
Well, a lot of Americans get really confused because they don't really know whether Veterans Day, if it's the same as Memorial Day. And, we'll be honest, it can be a little annoying to all of the living veterans out there. Memorial Day is a time to remember those who gave their lives, not our lives, their lives, for our country, particularly in battle or from wounds they suffered in battles.
What about the Veterans Day, Shadi? What are we honoring Veterans Day?
Well, we are honoring all of those who have served the country in war or peace, dead or alive, although it's largely intended to thank living veterans for their sacrifices.
Okay, great, Shadi. So that's really important, and when I always think the Veterans Day in American Amnesty Day, it could be in many countries. Like if you go to UK today, they are really remembering this, what we call it, Amnesty Day, but in US it is changed. So if you can tell us a little bit about this, the World War the First, which really happened to be, fighting many countries, and then it just end up and come up with this Veterans Day.
Well, for that reason, on November 11th, 1918 was largely considered the end of the war to end all of the wars, and dubbed Armistice Day. In 1926, Congress officially recognized it at the end of the war, and in 1938 it became an official holiday, primarily a day set aside to honor Veterans Day of World War I.
Okay, it's really interesting to know that, Shadi. I know that some explicable reasons, the bill said that Veterans Day commemoration for the fourth Monday of every October.
On October 25, 1971, the first Veterans Day under this new bill was held. We're not sure why it took 3 years to implement, but not surprisingly, there was a lot of confusion about the change.
Right.
And many states were really confused.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's really important today to let you know that DC DMV launched a new tag for remembering these veterans. So these tags have a different, tags and emblem. So you can here you can see those pictures here. So if you really want, you just need to pay one-time
United
payment
States
and also annual.
Coast Guard veteran.
United States Army veterans.
United States Marine veteran. United States Navy veteran.
And also the United States Navy
veterans.
Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Air Force veterans. So with that, if you go to DC DMV, so you can get those new tag, which is specifically acknowledging the veterans. And one way you are supporting the veterans as well here, the veterans supporting the Veterans Fund, and which is really doing a lot of important projects around the country supporting the veterans. So when we look at some of the news today, we have seen that President-elect Joe Biden and also the 45th President of the United States, President Trump, also acknowledged the veterans. Here, the unknown or unnamed veterans. Yes, so
unknown.
The unknown veterans. So that's really an important thing here. When we talk about in Canada and Australia, they both call this November 11 the Remembrance Day. So especially those two countries. So if you can tell us a little bit more there, Ashari, would be great.
Remembrance Day, Canada's observation is pretty similar to our own, except many of its citizens wear red poppy flowers to honor their war dead. In Australia, the day is more akin to our Memorial Day.
Right. When it comes to the Great Britain, which is earlier we mentioned that it's called Remembrance Day too, but they observe it on the Sunday, close to the November 11. With
parades.
Parade services, and also a 2 minutes of silence in London to honor those who lost their lives in a war. And it's really interesting to bring this one up front here. So they celebrate in Britain a Sunday before the November 11, which means like today is November 11, but they will do it before the Sunday before November 11. That was the past Sunday. So there are some different kinds of parade and also a 2 minute silence that's really happening in Britain. But in general, the Veterans Day is really important. That Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that if you're not loving your country, it's really mandatory, or it's really important to love your country. So love of one's homeland is part of your faith. It's part of your faith. That means, think about that. If you are a Muslim and you need to love your country, and that's an important part of here in our religion. And also Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said,
and one who is not thankful to people is not thankful to Allah.
Exactly. So gotta be thankful to the veterans here around us, around the world.
Because those are the people who tried to save our lives.
Right. So that's all we have on today's this Veterans Day, and hopefully we'll see you on the next time. And we wanna say Happy Veterans Day to all of you, and also we honor your respect. If you have been subscribed to Global Mindset University,